So you also lay out some competencies, 4 competencies that serve as antidotes to these happiness traps to help us perhaps get out of them. Can you talk a little bit more about those?
Yeah, if you want to get out of a happiness trap, if you feel like you're stuck or you've been doing the wrong thing for too long, you've got to start with self-awareness. You need to start by reflecting on what's important to you, what you care about, what your talents are. Do a self-study, ask people, get some feedback, get some opinions from people who care about you and whom you trust to find out a little bit more about what they see in you. So that's number 1, self-awareness. A second competency to focus on is self-management. It takes courage to get out of a bad job or to reframe how we're facing our work, how we're approaching our work. It takes courage, it takes bravery, and that takes emotional self-management. And we've got to hold on to positive outlook during all of this. If we get trapped by cynicism, pessimism, and negativity, we're never going to get out. We've got to remain hopeful and optimistic. And finally, we've got to read our environment well. How much of the problem is us? How much of the problem is our environment? Is usually running away from a job is not the first answer to getting out of a happiness trap. Usually it's starting with oneself.
Is that what you've seen has been the case for a lot of people? They just try to run and get another job and it doesn't really fix the problem?
People that I've talked to who are really unhappy at work do one of 2 things pretty typically. They blame others, specifically their boss. And yes, there are a lot of bad managers out there, but it's not always the boss's fault. And even in my own experience, I had a toxic boss once, and he really was toxic. But part of it was me and my response to him, right? And it takes 2 to tango. It takes 2 to play that game. So blaming really doesn't help. And secondly, running away without doing the hard work of figuring out what's important to you is just going to land you in another situation that ultimately will make you unhappy.